Hi, good morning. Today is Friday and we are going to go for cultural studies about animal kingdom. Animal kingdom. What all have you learned in animal kingdom? You have learned there are so many classifications. So far we have done mammals, reptiles, amphibians, fishes. No, sorry, insects. Correct? This is what we did. Today I am going to teach you about fishes. Okay? We did about birds also. Yeah, I am going to talk to you about fishes. Fish you all know, right? Yes, some of you eat fish also, so you have taken a closer look at the fish also. Now, coming to that vertebrae that I was telling about. Some of you, I asked you to check and see about when I was talking about vertebrates and invertebrates, that backbone. Does fish have vertebrae? Those who eat fish, they will know. Did you check it? Yes, actually Jenna told me. She told me that fishes have vertebrates. They are vertebrates. They have that backbone, the central bone. And the mullu, nadula irukra and the mullu. Okay? It is there in the fishes. So all fishes are vertebrates. Okay? And then, do you remember when we had learned in the terminology cards that fishes have scales around on top of their skin? They have a smooth skin, but on it there will be scales. Is it not? Miss Saranya would have taught you about terminology cards. Don't remember? Dorsal fin, caudal fin. Yes? Must have forgotten. We'll go through it again, no problem. So, these fishes have on their skin, they don't have hair. Okay? They don't have hair. Instead, they have scales on their skin. That scale is to actually protect them from any kind of injury underwater. Okay, the scale is really hard, little hard it will be. So it'll be like round. It will be layered one under the other like that. It will be layered. So it gives a fish a little thicker skin. Okay, on the skin this will be a thicker layer. So it will protect it from any kind of injury or any other fishes trying to attack it. It can help it from not getting hurt much. Okay, so that is the outer skin of the fish, and fishes are cold blooded. Okay, in the sense that they cannot survive, when the temperatures change they cannot survive, so they have to make sure that they are always inside water. They stay in that place where their temperature is always maintainable. And the area if they go anywhere, they go to deep sea, no, they cannot go. Deep sea fishes will remain in deep sea only. They don't generally come up. The fishes which are on top, they will stay on top only. They don't go deep sea. Okay, because they cannot fluctuate their temperatures to match the atmosphere. So they are cold blooded creatures. Okay, so this is the thing. And fishes, there are so many different kinds of fishes. Just like in birds you have so many birds, in insects there are so many insects, in fishes also we have so many fishes. Shall I give you some names of some fishes? Come, take a close look. Come. The first one is that of a shark. All of you like shark, no? Those of you who have watched the Nemo movie would have seen different fishes in it. Very beautiful fishes and the beauty of underwater. So there were sharks in it. Sharks have really a lot of teeth. You've seen it? All jiggy jagged teeth it will have. And it will eat other fishes. This big fish, it will eat up all the other fishes. And they have the strong sense of smell. So they can actually detect blood anywhere in the water. If there's little blood, anybody got hurt, they will come looking for that blood. They have a strong sense for smell and they'll come in the direction of that blood and they'll try to catch you. Okay? So sharks are very dangerous. Next one is an angelfish. These are very popular because you find mostly people use this in their aquariums, in their houses. Okay, because they are very beautiful to look at. They come in different colors and their fins also have different beauty in their fins. They are long fins, wavy fins and all. So this is very popular in the aquariums. You can also have angelfishes at home. So mostly for decorative purpose they will have it at home. Okay, angelfish. Next is a catfish. Take a close look. Do you see any cat on it? No, but still it is called a catfish. Maybe it has got whiskers like that of cat. Can you see? Meesa mari irka? Ah, they are called whiskers. Maybe because of that it's called a catfish. I don't know, I am guessing. But this is called a catfish. They have a flat head and these whiskers. Mostly fishes will not have whiskers. So you can easily identify a catfish with its whiskers. Okay, and they live in the rivers, not in the sea. They live in the rivers. Sethula irpanga. Okay, in muddy waters. They love to be in muddy waters. Not in clean, clear waters, muddy waters, river beds and all you will find them. Not even in the river bed and the mannila irukku avanga. Okay, they will be hiding under the mud. This is a stingray. Okay, the stingray is a completely different kind of a fish. Okay, it has a very flat body. Can you see it? Very flat it is, and it is a close relative of these sharks also. Okay, they are quite related to the shark, and they have. Did you see that they have a long tail? End of the tail there is a venom, a kind of poison. Okay, and if anybody tries to disturb it, it will just swish its tail and sting you. It can kill you. So you have to be very careful. Okay, the sting is really poisonous and it can kill you. So you have to be very careful around stingrays. Next is a seahorse. Okay, a seahorse, okay, it lives in the sea only. Okay, and it looks like a horse. Unlike our catfish, at least this looks somewhat like a horse. Do you see that? It has got a horse head. And you know what is so unique about these seahorses? In this, the male, the males give birth to babies. Did you notice what I said? I said they give birth to babies, meaning they don't lay eggs. Yeah, they don't lay eggs. So, are they mammals? That's a question. Will you find out for me and tell me if seahorse is a mammal because it gives birth to babies? Can you tell me if it is a mammal? I showed you there were mammals, aquatic mammals. I showed you already. There were the sea cows, a set of cards which I showed you. You remember? The manatee. Yes, that kind, the sea cow, those were all mammals, aquatic mammals. Is this also a mammal? Seahorse is a mammal? Will you find it out? Okay, I leave this question open to you. Please find out if seahorse is a mammal. Okay? And the last one in our set is the swordfish. A swordfish, if you can see, it has got a long flat bill, a mouth. Okay, it looks just like a sword, like it's going to attack. Yeah, all fishes attack smaller fishes. Okay, and they have to eat something, right? So they actually attack smaller fishes and they eat. So basically the swordfish is having this long sword to chase anybody else coming to attack it. Okay, so it is going to help the swordfish from bigger fishes. If any bigger fish like shark or whales are coming to attack, the swordfish can come with its sword for a fight. Okay, let's do a recap. Swordfish, stingray, catfish, it has whiskers like cats. Angelfish, the beautiful fishes in the aquarium, in your home, angelfish. Shark, and seahorse. But you have to tell me whether it is a mammal. You have to find out. Okay, they always swim upright like other fishes. There is something unique about these seahorses and all. When other fishes swim, all fishes swim in one way, the seahorse alone will swim upright. Okay, so these are certain things that you have to watch about a seahorse. You can do a research about seahorse. So you have learned some names of fishes. There are so many other fishes, particularly the kind of fishes that we eat. Okay, like we have the seal, the mackerel, the sardines. Okay, there are so many fishes that we eat. You find out the names of fishes that you eat in English. Okay, you would have known it by the local names, but you find out the names of it. Okay, mostly you will be having sardines, or you may be having the mackerel, or you may be having anchovies, or you may be having the seal. So you find out what is the name of the fish that you eat. Okay, in English. These are the names used universally everywhere globally. Okay, now we will learn some parts of the fish which we have in our jigsaw puzzle set. You remember a jigsaw puzzle? So this is your jigsaw puzzle for fishes with parts on it. Shall we see them one by one? Come. So here is your jigsaw puzzle of the fish, and this is the body of the fish. See, I am going to take out the body of the fish. If you notice, the body of the fishes will have a lot of scales on it. Do you see it? These are all called the scales. I told you scales are tiny layers which are into the skin, which will help it from any kind of injury. If any other predator, or you call any other fish, is trying to attack it, the scales will protect the fish superficially. Okay, or it will even help it to heal. Scales. Okay, these are called the fins. Tell me. Fins. Now each fin is different. Just like how these are all fingers, we know that this is a thumb, this is index finger, this is middle finger, this is ring finger, and the little finger. Similarly, these are all fins, but all these fins have names. This is called the dorsal fin. The dorsal fin. The dorsal fin will be always on top, on the upper side of the fish. It helps the fish to remain stable in water. Adavadhu, you've seen always fishes, they will be always going like this. Have you ever seen the fish going like this or upside down? No. It is because of the dorsal fin. The dorsal fin helps the fish to stay in that stable position. Okay, this is their position. This is how they always swim in water. They don't swim like this. No, they don't swim upside down. So the dorsal fin helps it to remain stable and even prevent it from rolling in water. Okay, it cannot be rolling in water. Have you ever seen fishes rolling? No. Even if it is getting into the wind, if it's under attack or if its fin is hurt, it may end up going little flip-flop. But the dorsal fin helps it from rolling. Okay, it will not roll. It will help it to stay straight. Okay, so that is your dorsal fin. Say dorsal fin. We will do all this again in our terminology cards also. Then we have the caudal fin. It is also called the tail fin. You know why it is a tail fin? Because it is at the tail end. So it is called the tail fin. Tail fin edukku theriyuma? It is used for moving forward. If the fish wants to go forward like this, it has to start flapping its tail fin. Only if it starts flapping the tail fin, it will help it to move forward and also to have speed. Okay, the faster it flaps, the faster it moves forward. The slower it does, the slower it goes. So this is for speed as well as for going forward. The fishes can go forward only if the caudal fin or the tail fin is in action. If this is not moving, you will see that the fish will be standing just in the same place. Once it starts flapping, it will start moving forward. Okay? Caudal fin. Then we have the pelvic fin. Okay? The pelvic fin. This is called the pelvic fin and the anal fin. The two fins are there. Both have the same function only. Okay? It helps in fine tune all these movements. You know the fishes go forward, how fast it goes. It actually helps it to fine tune their movements, maintain balance, you know, without going like this, like that, so that they can go straighter, helping all other fins in their action. Okay, so for fine tuning we will say, to make their movements perfect. It helps in making their movements perfect. Also it will maintain the level. Okay, the level maintenance, that is at, you know, whether it has to go up or down, all those movements it can manage. So basically to maintain the level, to help other fins in their perfection. Okay, so this is your pelvic fin and this is your anal fin. Now there is one fin this is missing in it, which is the pectoral fin. It is not there shown here. It will be here. Those who are buying fishes or who have seen in the aquarium or in any movies or any pictures, you would have seen that fishes have this thing called pectoral fin here. Let me see if I have it in this card here. See, I got you a fish here. Can you see this fin here? This fin on the side is called as the pectoral fin. See that? On the side. மேலே இருக்கிறது dorsal fin. The one below is your pelvic fin and your anal fin. Then on either sides of the fish you will find this pectoral fin. Can you see that? Yes. This pectoral fin helps the fish to turn towards left side or right side. So that is why it is there on the left side of the fish one and the right side of the fish rendu irukum. Okay? There will be one on this side, one on that side. It will help it to flap its fin so that it can turn left or right. So that is your fish. That's the body of the fish. Okay? That's your body and that's the head. The head will have the mouth and the eyes, and it also has the gills through which it is does its breathing. Okay? They don't have nose, but it breathes through gills. It takes oxygen through the gills. So head has eyes, nose and gills. Then body is full of scales. Then you have fins. Dorsal fin on top, which is for keeping it stable so that it doesn't go rolling. Then you have the tail fin or the caudal fin, which it helps it to move forward and faster. Then it has the pelvic fin and the anal fin to help it to keep the movements more stable, even more perfection in their movements, and to maintain level in water. Okay, always going in the same level. The next one is your pectoral fin, which is not there in this. I told you that is for turning to the left or to the right. Okay, so that is your fish. So you got it? Okay, these are the fishes. Now the worksheet part, you will turn to page number 7. Okay, page number 7 in your worksheet. There will be a combination of so many creatures from the animal kingdom. You have to color only those fishes, only those things which are fishes. Okay, just color the fishes. I am not going to tell you which are the fishes. You know it by now. Now I am going to introduce you to a new set of animals, a new classification in the animal kingdom, which is called the mollusk. Okay, you would not have heard this before. The term is mollusk. Mollusk. Okay. Now I will show you some pictures. When I show you that, you will understand what I am talking about. Are you ready? Okay. Oyster. Oysters are very soft skin. They are very soft creatures which live inside a shell. Okay. Inside the shell they live, and they give out these beautiful pearls also. I'll talk about this pearl some other time. Okay, they have a hard shell. Inside that hard shell only the oyster lives, a small fleshy creature, and it makes these pearls. Snail. Snail is also a mollusk. Okay, this also has a hard outer shell. Do you see a shell which is like its home? Yeah, inside it is a very soft fleshy body. Okay, squid. You find squids in the deep sea. Okay, they also have a soft body, and the skeleton is actually on the outer side. Okay, that shell, they all have a shell. In case of a squid, the shell is a very soft shell, but it is outside the body. Clams. The clams are also like the oyster only, but this does not make pearls. Oysters only will make pearls. Clams, just like the oysters, they have a hard shell outside, a pair of hard shell. Inside it there will be a soft creature living. Okay, they have no head, nothing like that, no legs, no heads, nothing they have. It's just a small organism living inside the shell. No eyes, no ears, no nose, nothing. So they can't see, they can't hear, they can't smell, nothing, no head itself. The next mollusk is a octopus. The octopus also, if you know that, you already know that it has tentacles. Okay, how many? 8. Okay, which you call 8 legs. 8-legged creature they are. Did you know that octopus has a blue blood? The color of the blood is blue color. Okay, they are very special organisms. I'll have to take another class to talk about all these octopus. But I leave it to you as an assignment one day. We'll wait and see what each of you will pick up and do. Okay, so these are octopuses. They also come under the mollusk. The last set what you are seeing are cowries and cones. The picture on top are the cowries. Okay, cowries will be like a cup shaped. Okay, a cup inverted. And cones, as you see the picture below, will have a cone shaped shell. Okay, these are all the shells, but there is an organism living inside the shell. Can you see the creature inside the shell? They are the cowries and cones. Remember your chit game? We used to play this. These are these cowries. Can you see the cowries? Inside the cowrie, underneath the cowrie, can you see one cut? Yes, it is through that the creature lives and comes out. Okay, the cowries. So you never knew, no? These cowries and cones which you were using in the environment were actually one creature from under the sea. Okay, that is why you liked it. There's something very beautiful about them, very soft, smooth, is it not? You all remember, you love to hold it, right? So these are, you used it for chit game. Yes, cowries and cones. So children, these are the varieties of mollusk. If you see the mollusk, if whatever I showed you, they all had one hard outer shell. The shell was on the outside. Correct? For all the creatures that I told you, they have the bones inside, the vertebrae. The backbone was inside. But, and I told you that the bone really gives them a shape. But in these creatures, if you see, the shell is outside. So they don't have any shape as such. They will be just fleshy piece, just one fleshy piece, that's all. The bone is outside. Or what you call the skeleton. The skeleton is outside. When skeleton is outside, you call it exoskeleton. Okay, they are outside. Okay, that is why that hard shell for the clam, hard shell for the cowries and cones, hard shell for the oysters, it is all outside. Even there is a soft shell even for a squid also. Octopus as such, they do not have shell, and they are anyway, they don't have a shape also. They can even squeeze through a keyhole also. Do you know that? Octopus are so magnificent creatures. They have a small, even such a big octopus, through a small gap they can sneak and go through. So this is one kind of creature called a classification in the animal kingdom called mollusk. They are again cold-blooded creatures, because if the temperature changes, they will die. So they have to make sure that they are in a particular place. Okay, if they come out of that place, or if the temperature is changing, they have to look out for a place which is better for them, and they have to settle there. Okay, so they are cold-blooded creatures. And the shell, they do not have that, on their skin there will be one slimy coating of mucus membrane. If you try to hold a squid, or if you try to hold an octopus, you can't hold an octopus, it will catch you. So it will be very slimy. They'll slip and go away, because they have a slimy layer on top of it. On top of that, they will have a hard shell. Okay, so this is how you can identify the mollusk. In your workbook, you are going to be coloring just the mollusk. So you tell me, is monkey a mollusk? No. Octopus? Yes. Color it. Maybe you can give it blue color, so that you can remember it. It is blue blooded. It is blue color blood. Make a blue octopus. Okay. Then the next one is a peacock. Is it a mollusk? No, it is a bird. How about the clams? The clams, yes, they are mollusk. You can give any color you want. Then the squid. The squid is a mollusk. Okay, you can color it. Then the snails. They are also mollusks. There are two types of snails. There is sea snail and garden snail. Snails are also mollusk. So that is all, children. I wanted to tell you there is more to talk about the mollusk world, because it's very beautiful, it's very colorful and very diverse. There are even in squid itself there are so many kinds of squids. Okay, in clams itself there are so many kinds of clams. In octopus itself there are so many varieties of octopus, big octopuses which can swallow even Miss Juno. Such kind of squids, such kind of octopuses are also there. So that is a different thing. We'll talk about it some other day, but now you have to know that these are the creatures which come under mollusk. Now we'll just take a quick look at all what we had learned. Can you look at the board? So far in the animal kingdom, we have seen first one, mammals. Okay, mammals. They give birth to young ones. Then we saw reptiles. Reptiles are those creatures which crawl on the floor. Yes, they lay eggs. Then we saw birds. Birds also lay eggs. They have wings, so they can fly. But not all birds can fly. Then we saw amphibians. Amphibians are those creatures which live in water as well as on land. Okay, because they have to maintain their temperature, they keep jumping here and there. For example, frog, newt, all those things that we learned. Then the next one is insects. Insects is next classification. You already know about lot about insects. Then now we learned fishes. Fishes. Just now you learned that they also lay eggs, except for few which are mammals. Then mollusk. Mollusks are those soft creatures which live inside a hard shell. Okay, I am not talking about tortoise. That is not a mollusk. Okay, tortoise is not a mollusk. Mollusks are more tinier creatures which live under the sea, mostly in the deep sea and all, they will be there. Okay, so this is your classification. One more look at it. You can take a look. I have marked it here that whether they are vertebrates. The mammals are vertebrates. They are warm-blooded. Mammals like us human beings have hair. Reptiles. Reptiles like crocodile, they are vertebrates. They have backbone. They are cold-blooded. cannot maintain temperature. And they have scales, hard scaly skin they have. Then birds. Birds are vertebrates. They have backbone, like let's say a crow. And they are warm blooded. They can move anywhere they want. And they have feathers. Okay, feathers which help it to fly. On their skin it will be there. Then we learned about amphibians, that is those which live on land and water. Frogs, which are vertebrates. They are cold blooded. Correct? They need to protect themselves when temperature changes. And they have scales on their body. Then next one is insects. Insects, they are invertebrates. They don't have backbone. And then they are cold blooded. Okay, when the temperature changes, they die. As I told, insects have very short life. And instead of hair, they have something called seta. If you see honeybees and all, it has hair on it, no? Actually, it is not hair. It is something else. It is called seta. That hair-like thing has holes in it, small, tiny holes in it, through which they give out a odor, some kind of smell it gives out. Okay, so it is not actually hair. Okay, it is seta. Then next we saw fishes. Yes, they have vertebrae, they have backbones, and they are cold blooded, so they live in water for a long time, and then they have scales on their body. And then we learned about mollusks, which are invertebrates. They do not have backbone. Do you think oysters have backbone? No, instead they have a hard shell covering it, and they are cold blooded. Okay, they cannot go and live in different environments and all. So this is about the animal kingdom. Roughly I have told you now. Next class we will go through it again. Okay, keep learning through this. One day I will tell you that we will have a show and tell or something in one of the topics. So whichever topic you like, you can pick up and talk. Okay, and get to say about it. Okay children, see you again in another video. Until then, bye bye.